What is the difference between empathy and compassion? So sometime in now kind of like modern culture, some people said compassion fatigue. If you are compassionate, then after a certain level you get others pain and you burn out and you feel like hopeless and trapped. But actually, compassion doesn't become trap or so much overwhelmed or burn out actually. What will burn out is the empathy. So empathy is you feel what others feel. You sense others suffering. And there's no will. There's no really kind of like readiness to help. Of course, sad maybe, and you're just feeling, and that is very difficult after a certain level. What is compassion normally? What we call, may you free from suffering and causes of suffering. And at the same time, the readiness to help. And maybe there's a wish to help. So there's a will. For example, when we begin to meditate, we always develop the compassion motivation. Why I'm practicing meditation? I want to help others. I want to help other beings to free from suffering, to have happiness. For that reason, I'm going to meditate. Then end of meditation, you dedicate your meditation for happiness and free from suffering to all beings. And these two are different. And there's a lot of scientific research about that. Even the area in the brain, they say, is different. So empathy, only empathy, sympathy, sometimes can be burnout, very stressful, overwhelming. But the compassion has a lot of courage. And there's not too much about self. Empathy has a lot of self in it, You feel and others feel. But of course, based on empathy, we can develop compassion. That's totally the way. But the compassion, not too much like egoistic, self-centered. Of course, there's self, what we call the healthy sense of self. And that self has courage and openness and the will. So now how to develop love and compassion? So of course, first, you can have based on empathy. Special, we need to understand everybody fundamental level is same. And in our tradition, we need to connect with the basic goodness, meaning everybody has a wonderful nature. By essence, everybody has awareness, love and compassion, and the wisdom. But, of course, sometimes we are lost with the emotional disturbance, clashes, ignorance, aversion, and the attachment. So we lost. But the deeper level, still perfect. We are not broken. Our true nature is complete. So, knowing that everybody has a wonderful nature, but we are lost, and wish that I want to help others, and eventually all beings, that may all beings, I wish free from suffering and to connect with their true innate quality. So may all beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. Normally, in the beginning, we can choose with someone we like. I choose with my grandmother. So she's really kind and caring. So I wish my grandmother, I understand she has a wonderful nature, but she has a lot of struggles, problems too. And I wish may she free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May she have happiness and the causes of her happiness. So I do this practice. It really helps. And you can try this with the easy one, then expand neutral, then you can expand to all beings. So then eventually develop compassion. And then after having compassion, we can transform compassion, even integrate more with the wisdom. So meaning, we develop compassion, but don't too attach to the compassion also. And you want to help others, also don't too tight on the result of how you helped, because everything's impermanent. Life is like stock market, go up and down. Your life is like stock market. Other people's life is like stock market. Everything changes. So sometimes can help, sometimes cannot help. But important is try your best, but your mind too tight on the result, to accept impermanent, to meditate on up and down. So there's a wisdom also. And then ultimate wisdom, if you know emptiness, that's the best. So actually suffering is emptiness. Everything, entire universe is emptiness, but emptiness does not mean nothing. Because of emptiness, universe exists. Yet it's not real, fixed like what we perceive now. Narrow, tight, fixed. Partiality, division, this we created. So actually there's no suffering, me and other people, all beings, but we don't know. And for all of us, we create the real suffering. So then you see sufferings not real, yet appear to be real. So then what we call the compassion eventually become the union of what we call non-conceptual and then compassion. Sometimes what we call compassion union with non-conceptual. Or sometimes what we call compassion union with emptiness. And that compassion become really vast and strong. The more you have wisdom and compassion together, compassion become more genuine, powerful, and authentic.